No one tells you that starting over doesn't begin with excitement. It begins with uncertainty. The excitement does come, but in the beginning, there are a lot of what ifs. There's a lot of uncertainty, and that's okay. You will figure it out as time goes. And this is just my story of starting over and embracing motherhood to its fullest. Blueberry. Very good job. The charger. I have lost my tripod, so you guys are sitting propped up on my windowsill. But I'm just really excited about some of the videos that I have coming up that I'm going to be sharing with you all. It's a new way of life for me because I don't know if you know this, and I just put a video out that I can link up here for you to go and watch it if you want to, but I did hair for over 20 years, and I left that career to become a stay-at-home mom. And when I left that job, that career, that industry, I kind of felt like I was so lost, and I still feel lost some days, to be honest, but I am coming to a new version of myself and learning how to become a mom. I've been a mom for 14 years, but I've been a working mom. I've not been a stay-at-home mom, but on the days that I had off, I was just craving wanting to be the everything mom for my son. And now that I have 3 sons, I definitely want to be everything that I can be for them. I know I'm not going to be their everything. I don't expect that, but I crave being a mother and really embracing that. And I want to make my home inviting and warm and cozy for them. And I want them to look back on their childhood and be like, the place that I could go for peace was home. It was my mom, it was my dad. And so I am just learning how to embrace that, learning how to do that. And I just want to share the journey with you. And I would love for you to come along with me on this journey. And so anyway, today, going to be baking some things. I'm making some pancakes right now for them, and I wanted to do a lot of stuff today, but I have been feeling quite sick lately. I've been under the weather, and I thought I was on the mend, and then today it's just like it hit me again, and now I'm just tired. So, but I gotta start somewhere, and this is where we're beginning. So join the ride. Okay, I have my chicken broth here. I'm just gonna sip on it, and hopefully that'll help make me feel a little bit better. I just wanted to talk a little bit about basically reinventing myself and starting over, essentially, after 40, starting over after 40. For, like I said, for 20 years, I did hair. And that's basically where my identity was. And it felt like that's where my purpose was. Like I had a purpose. When the realization came that it was official, and it was a slow transition too, but like when it was official that this is it, I'm a stay-at-home mom now, like I had a hard time accepting that because I had a routine. I was waking up, I was getting ready for work, I would go to work, I'd come home, I would cook dinner, I'd clean up, be mom, and then go to bed, wake up, and do that all over again. So I knew what was gonna happen. And now I wake up and I'm like, what do I do today? I don't know what to do besides keeping children alive and fed, of course, but you know, I don't know how to plan things out yet, and I'm learning that. Like, if you're watching this and you're a mom, you're like, duh, this is what you do. It's super easy. It's good for you, but it's not easy, especially for someone who's a creative like myself. My brain doesn't work like that, so I'm having to kind of rewire and retrain my brain to think in a completely brand new way than it once did. I created beautiful hair. I did makeup, you know, and now I'm having to think creatively in ways of like, how do I make today fun for the kids? How do I incorporate education in a fun way for the kids? So, you know, it's not easy. And my hat's off to those who it just comes natural to. I think it's a beautiful thing. I think motherhood is a beautiful thing. It's hard for sure, but it's very difficult. I want to give you a little bit of a backstory of how this all came to be. I felt in my spirit, in my gut, that my career would shift and that my life would look different. I didn't know when that would happen, and I didn't know what that looked like, but I knew something was coming. And so I went with the flow of life. I didn't try to force anything to happen or stop anything to happen. I just went with the current. And about 2.5, 3 years ago is when the shift started happening within my business. I had an established clientele, and I had the clients I wanted, and I had the hours I wanted, and I was working where I wanted. So essentially I had it all. I was so happy with where I was in my career and in my life. And you know, I was a mom of 2 at that time, and life was great. But then my clients all started moving away, out of cities, or out of the city, or you know, hours away or out of state. It would be too inconvenient for them to travel to me. So, you know, that's just where their lives took them. But my clientele was dwindling, and I think in the back of my mind, I knew that this was supposed to happen. I knew that this was the shift starting to happen. And I was scared. I was really scared because I'm like I said, hair was all I ever knew, and I didn't know what was in store for me, and I didn't know what I was gonna do. And it didn't seem to matter how much I tried to rebuild a clientele or a new clientele. Nothing was working. And so I knew that it was just another sign that this was it for me. And it was very, very sad for me when I officially stepped away from doing hair. And I had to grieve that process. I was in mourning essentially, and I did not know that that is how I would react to it, because I didn't feel like I got attached to it, but I guess I did, and that's where my identity was. And so I was a little angry because I felt lost. I felt like I was free falling. I didn't know where I was gonna land. I didn't know when I was gonna land. I didn't know how. And I'm still kind of in that. I'm starting to see the light at the end of the tunnel, but I still don't have a clear vision or a path of like where it's gonna lead me. I know that I love creating content. I love making videos. I don't mind being in front of the camera or on the camera. I've always loved it. I don't know why, but I have. I like teaching, I like educating, but there's gonna be more to it than that. It's not really gonna be about hair videos anymore. There might be a hair video here and there sprinkled in, but for the most part, it's more so just about motherhood. It's about just figuring things out as I go, because I have nothing figured out yet. As far as what the future looks like, it's gonna be a lot of homemade stuff, baking from scratch. I have a little more time on my hands, and I say time in a very loose manner because If you're a mom, you know how that goes. You plan to do something and that plan completely falls through because life. I want to bring you along the journey with me. You know, we have a lot of house projects that we're going to be wrapping up. You can probably see in the background, maybe if it's in the shot. I know it's been in the other shots, but I have a light switch hanging out of my wall. My little one cannot reach it, thankfully, but that's, you know, things like that have to be fixed. And it's just a new adventure for me. And I'm really excited about this new adventure. I'm excited to be homeschooling this year. My mother-in-law did most of the homeschooling, and this year I'm really taking over, and we're adding a student this year. So it's really new for me, but I'm really excited. So we're gonna be homeschooling, we're gonna be baking, we're gonna be doing, you know, DIY projects. And so I just wanna share that journey with you, and I would love it if you would come along with me. I hope you do come along with me, and I will see you next time. Bye.